Well, the reason we are all here is to discuss the BAFTA nominated. Let me say that again. The BAFTA nominated
So excited.
Miss Cool, which is made and directed by the BAFTA nominated Victoria Mapplebeck.
You're making my day here.
And Adam, do you have a BAFTA as well?
I have 4 BAFTAs.
And
He's a little pro on the BAFTA nominations
the BAFTA
and
winning
awards.
Adam G. Am I the only person in this room that doesn't have a BAFTA?
I think you might be.
Adam, can you tell us what BAFTA the film's been nominated for?
Okay, so Miss Call has been nominated for the short programme BAFTA. It's the second year that BAFTA have run this category, so it's a brand new category. And it's a real sign about how short form has entered the mainstream. So we're super excited to be nominated for it, but particularly because all the other nominations are BBC productions. So it's a real David and Goliath situation.
What do you mean by David and Goliath?
Well, if you think Little Dot Studios is a privately owned indie based in London that's kind of grown from a little acorn and it's now kind of on its way to being a mighty oak, but still a ways to go. Certainly in comparison to the BBC, which has like 20,000 employees, literally.
Yeah, that's very massive. How did it feel when you found out?
I feel really chuffed because it was a real surprise because I sort of knew Little Dot were thinking about putting in for the BAFTAs, but I wasn't sure and I wasn't part of the process. So I just got shocked when my current commissioner, Charlie Phillips from The Guardian, emailed me first thing in the morning going, BAFTA, congratulations, it's amazing, you got a nomination. And I almost kind of emailed back going, I think you got the wrong person. Did a Google search of Miss Cool BAFTA and then saw it. So it was kind of extra special because I hadn't put it in, I wasn't waiting, I just, it wasn't on my radar, so it was like a really big surprise.
One of the things that's been a real kick recently was there was a great article done recently that was surveying all the best films that had been made on smartphones and iPhones, and it was led by Steven Soderbergh's latest film. Then it included, Victoria, you're going to have to help me here, Shane's surname from Tangerine. Sean Baker's
made Tangerine,
yeah.
Which was the first feature, I think, made on a smartphone, made on the 5.
Yeah. And then we deliberately went after the new iPhone X because it coincided with when this was coming to fruition. And we were listed in that same article. So to be in that kind of context is fantastic because that's the whole range, really, of what the potential of smartphone filmmaking is.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we just go back to the BAFTA, so Adam, obviously this is your 5th, but this is potentially your 5th BAFTA. So it's a bit like I'm obviously the.
I like your positive thinking there. Yeah, thank you.
We're not quite there yet.
Actually, I've got something that I dug out specially for you today to do with the BAFTA. I found this letter that I wrote when I was commissioning editor at Channel 4. This was in February 2006, and I was on the TV committee of BAFTA at the time. With the likes of Peter Kosminski and I can't remember who else. Oh yeah, the guy that runs Left Bank Films that did The Crown and all that. Anyway, they were mostly kind of television types. And I proposed that we have a new category, which I suggested should be called New Television. And they all kind of harumphed and said, go off and write an essay and tell us what new television is. What are you talking about? So I've just found the letter that I wrote to them in response to that, which is headed Proposed New Category, New Television. And one of the things that really tickled me looking back at this was I was trying to explain to them some examples of new television, and one of them was this newfangled thing called YouTube. So bear in mind, this is a few months after YouTube launched. And it says here, YouTube, the video equivalent of Flickr. What Flickr is to photos, YouTube is to video, an application for sharing video of all kinds. So none of them of the TV committee had heard of this thing called YouTube. And the way one had to go about explaining it is kind of bizarre now because most people probably don't even know what Flickr is anymore. The other thing that was interesting to see was at the top of the letter, there's a paragraph where it just says rationale. And it says, there is a whole new kind of television emerging rapidly in the new media space, prompted by broadband internet having reached critical mass in terms of penetration uptake, and the rapid evolution of mobile devices with video and interactive capability, e.g. 5th generation bracket video iPod and PSP, PlayStation Portable.
Oh, wow, that's exciting.
So that's 2006. It's kind of come to fruition, and maybe this category is kind of a real sort of stake in the ground in terms of that vision actually becoming part of the mainstream.
Yeah, it's amazing that it's all kind of it's almost come full circle for you, hasn't it? Even talking about the BAFTA nomination from a Real Stories point of view. So I kind of came into work, and Alex Haranowicz, who we all know and love, had the biggest smile on his face. And normally when somebody smiles at me like that for that long a period, like they're probably about to steal something from me.
Or
But he was
picking you up.
Yeah, and you don't see Alex H smile for that long, like unless like he's come in and one of his kids hasn't thrown up on him or hurt themselves. So he's just like in a really jovial mood, and I say, "What's up?" And he says, "Miss Cool's been nominated for a BAFTA," and I wasn't that surprised because it's such an intimate and innovative movie that it seems almost that's its place among BAFTA, not just BAFTA nominees but BAFTA winners. So Victoria, do you think we have a BAFTA winner here today?
Oh,
Be as arrogant as
I mean, obviously it'd be great, but I also feel like I'm just incredibly chuffed that it's got a nomination. I'm really looking forward to the night, the awards bash. And again, for my son Jim, like he's going to come as well, and obviously he's the star of the film.
Yeah, we will
So
get onto him.
that was really nice as well, just seeing how over the moon he was.
Have you picked out a nice tux for him?
Yeah, well, that's it. We're trying to get a tux that's like not too kind of old fashioned. So
Yeah.
I think we'll hire one, but yeah.